He's not a king. He's not a general. He's not a priest. He's the one who spins the lattice that holds them all together. The throne weaver does not crave the spotlight. His work is quieter, more dangerous, weaving ideas into inevitabilities, constructing thrones out of philosophy. Where others shout, he whispers. Where others wield armies, he writes frameworks that bend reality itself. The throne weaver was not born into the bloodlines of the blueprint fathers. He came from outside of the pyramid, raised not in inherited wealth, but in intellect. He studied in universities, steeped in computer science and political theory. His mind sharpened not on the battlefield, but in the circuits of logic and the archives of history. In the early 2000s, under the mask of Meniscus, I'm not sure how to say that, but I'll spell it, Moldbug, that's his name in his blog, he began to spin. His writings declared that democracy was a mistake, that hierarchies were natural, and that nations should run like corporations, with CEOs for kings. To most, it was fringe rambling, but to the fathers, it was nectar, sweet, sweet nectar. The blueprint fathers are the ones who discovered him. The blueprint fathers heard his silk humming through the web. Here was an outsider who had found their ancient creed on his own. His words gave new legitimacy to their old fear, that as they became the minority, their thrones would topple. My name is Lisa, or SkyGirl. This is my screenplay, Death of the Shadow Scripts, Rise of the Sun Councils, and we are actually on the Throne Weaver episode, and here we go. We're going to get back into this. So they pulled him in closer, not as one of their blood, but as a useful spider, a mind that could reframe domination as efficiency, hierarchy as natural order, monarchy as inevitable. The Gridlord King is introduced. So it was the fathers who brought the Throne Weaver forward. They brought him into the fold. They said to the Gridlord King, this weaver can translate your empire of speed into permanence. He can explain why your acceleration must rule forever. So for the Gridlord King, the master of tech and chaos leaned in. Energy without form collapses. Power without philosophy scatters. The weaver could bind his grids into thrones, give raw circuitry the appearance of destiny. Thus a pact was sealed. The blueprint fathers gave him creed. The Gridlord King gave him speed. And together they electrified the pyramid with silk. His doctrine, hierarchy above all, order dressed as optimization, and the illusion of inevitability, no alternatives, no exits, no councils. He builds thrones not by force, but by argument. His true weapon is narrative warfare, convincing the people that power arranged above them is the only possible way. The tarot reveals him now, but the web trembles. I did a tarot spread on him. When the cards are cast, the weaver's current pattern is revealed. The Ace of Pentacles reversed was the mask that he wears. He wears false prosperity, offering hollow seeds that never take root. The world reversed was his hidden hand. His true act is stalling the completion. The world card has to do with like completion of a cycle. And that's what we're coming to right now. That's what's happening with the collapse of the pyramid. And so what Throne Weaver has done is basically he's stalled the inevitable. He stalled something that is bigger than humans. It's a bigger thing. The world card is like big when you get that in a spread. It's like about big, big stuff. So that was reversed in the hidden hand. And that is, he is just stalling the inevitable. He's preventing the cycles from closing, which are this inevitable. They are going to close. It's just a matter of when and how long it'll take. Eight of Wands was the web. His threads now are informational. Rapid messages, memetics, I'm not sure how to say that word, and speed, like memes. The the snare is the Three of Cups. He targets communities, alliances, councils, seeking to poison joy and divide trust. So anytime we start to have progress and we're joining forces and things are rolling forward, there's like a poison dye injected into that. That's usually the throne weaver. So then the weak thread was the Tower card. His web is brittle. Lightning destroys his lattice. Exposure is his doom. The Two of Wands reversed is in the flash section of the reading. Refusal is the key. Councils need not storm his gates. They only need to decline his maps. His empire collapses when the people walk other paths. The King of Wands reversed was the outcome. His future is a fall from authority, a tyrant stripped of vision, rage without legitimacy. And then the shadow is the Knight of Wands. Beneath it all, he is reckless, impulsive, and burning fast toward his own undoing. So the fate of the Throne Weaver. The Throne Weaver has spun webs across centuries. He whispered to kings that God chose them. He whispered to colonizers that conquest was progress. Now he whispers to technocrats that hierarchy is efficiency. But the flash is coming. The councils are rising. His web cannot hold against open air, sunlight, and circle. When the throne dissolves, the weaver has nothing left to weave. So the Throne Weaver is, I'm not sure if you know much about him, but, look him up in the glossary, which I updated. I do want to tell you, I forgot to add the mirror prints, and I did add it in a comment underneath the post. So please check that, the mirror prints, kind of important. But Throne Weaver is a big, inspiration for these technocrats. The Blueprint Fathers, I actually thought it was the technocrats that discovered him and then convinced the Blueprint Fathers how great he was. It was the Blueprint Fathers that found him. They're the ones who brought him in to the techno world, into all the other Grid Lords and Grid Lord King and all of that. But they're all like, yeah, this is amazing. So he's kind of like the modern day Blueprint Father reasoning behind it. So he's responsible for a lot of this stuff. He's not the leader. He's not the heavy hand. He's sort of just the philosophy and the legitimizing what they're doing and acting like they're all these brainy, amazing guys that are sitting around figuring out these world domination things, which is bizarroid because he wasn't born into the Blueprint Father's world and he's not a technocrat. He's not one of the Grid Lords. So it's just literally just because he started writing like that and had a blog. So it's just very bizarre. But he's going to go down with the rest of them when the flash comes, and even actually before the flash comes. So anyways, that's it for Throne Weaver. And the next episode, we're going to take a look at the Eye Stones. And after that, we have Starboy. And so I'll see you in the next episode.